and this is for the agent benchmarking. So this is for agent benchmarking, that if agents are following the all the compliance and the effectiveness of the calls or not, so they can, so the client can improve the call quality. Now on the home screen you can see there are three tabs. On the first tab we have the agent performance. Now you have the top 10 agent performance who have followed the all the guidelines for the calls, and the sentiment of the analysis. So how many, what percentage of agent has followed all the sentiments, positive sentiments, and the overall effectiveness rate for the top 10 agents. You have the bottom 10 agents as well. So these agents have low score. They have not followed the guidelines or the compliance on the calls. In the second tab, you have the sales call. So total calls recorded.
One second, Akash. Let me give them
Yes.
some perspective. So here,
Yes.
based on the calls, they have taken a call recording dump. The call recording dump has been taken by FER. They have converted the calls, the recorded calls to text. That is, speech to text, voice to text. They have conducted that recognition technology. On the text,
Yes.
they have done the sentiment analytics using some machine learning algorithm. So based on the conversation of the agent and the customer, this is an outcalling call center of Religear Insurance. Based on the conversation between the agent and the customer, they have analyzed how is the agent performing on certain parameters. There are 3 or 4 parameters on which the agent is rated. So what they are saying is, based on those parameters, there are certain agents at top 10, there are certain agents at bottom 10. This might be of interest to a call center operations head. This is the solution, actually. Yeah. Kurian, Amar, any doubt you have, just ask straight away. Yeah, because you guys understand these things
Yeah.
quite fast.
Go on, go on. I got the context. Thanks for setting the context, Jimmy. So go on,
Yeah.
Akash.
Okay.
Okay. So now in the second tab, you have the sales calls where figures are there, how many calls have been recorded by how many agents, and the total call hours and the total words spoken in those calls. Now you have 75% effectiveness of the call etiquettes in compliance, and in sales effectiveness, it was 52%. Now here are the figures. So when the conversation happens, now this is the customer intent to buy. So if the, let's say the call is incoming call, now we can say that the customer was interested in the product. Now while the call was happening, what conversation has happened between the agent and the customer, based on that words, we identify that this was a positive call and this was a negative call, which is here. So 14 customers was not intended to buy this product. 73 were neutral, and 13% customer was ready to buy, or they have some positive intent for the product. Now, if I open this sales call, you can see there are again three tabs here. In the first is compliance, and the sales effectiveness, and the misconduct. So these are the three aspects we are following for the agents benchmarking. Now in compliance, so you have the filter as well for the agent ID and the time frame when the call was happen. Now in this compliance aspect, you have the these categories. Now how many agents have greeted the customer, then how many agents mentioned the policies, the customer details, who have asked for the customer details. So 75% of the agents are greets the customer. Now, if you see this arrow, this is more on granular level detail. Now, customer details. So if I click on this, so how many agents have asked for the name from the customer, the age, and the email. Now, mentioning that call is being recorded, who have mentioned all these guidelines, mentioning the call purpose, all this, and these parameters are dynamic. You can always reduce or increase this parameter based on the requirement. Now the second tab is the sales effectiveness.
Wait, Akash.
Yes,
See, let me just
yes,
explain
yes.
this. See, the super dimension is compliance. So how they are measuring compliance? They are saying there are 5 sub-dimensions for compliance: greeting customer, mentioning policy, customer details, all that. So based on these 5 sub-dimensions, they are arriving at a figure for each agent. So if you see, 75% customers have greeted customer. 25% of agents have not greeted customer. That's what it means. Customer details, 60% have asked the details, collected the details. 40% has not asked. If we have seen email, only 30% have asked for the email, which is very important because without email, we cannot send any policy details, right? So this is the kind of granular level data of dimensions and subdimensions. The super dimension is compliance. The subdimensions are these 5. This is how they calculate the sentiment. Yeah. Okay. Move on, Akash. Yeah.
Yes. Now the second tab is sales effectiveness. Again, we have this super dimension and then some categories under it. So in sales effectiveness, how many percent of the agent are telling the informing the product benefits about the competition, what is excluded from the policy. If I click on this, if suicide case will be included or not, if HIV case will be included or not, how many percent of agents have told this to the customer. So this comes under the sales effectiveness. Same we have the misconduct as well. So see, in call centers we cannot say some kind of words like commission, या आप मेरी बात समझ नहीं रहे, you're not getting my point, and this is my personal number. So all these words which are not right for a call center, for a sales perspective, we catch that as well, and based on that we also give some credit or some score to the agents. So let's say you have the transcript in how many calls these words were included. So this was a transcript of a conversation, and in this conversation, this was cached that someone from the agent has asked for the personal number. So personal number पे अपना ठीक है, आप मुझसे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. So this was captured in this algorithm. So this was for the misconduct. Now, how this misconduct is calculated? So we can create word cloud for misconduct. So these words cannot be used. And then what our machine learning algorithm does is, surrounded by those words, we continue to make that algorithm learn for the words. So let's say we have input a word commission. Now, word like commission, like if I tell you in Hindi, it's dalali, it's promotion, helpful, commission. All those words which comes under commission, or which is like very alike with commission, that will captured by algorithm itself. We don't have to put it. So let's say more the number of conversation, more the number of transcript, more the algorithm will be strong in capturing those words. So
Okay.
this is the base. Yes, Jimmy. You were saying something?
No, no. Amar, what we have to understand here is in the earlier example of insurance, it was compliance, sales effectiveness, misconduct. These were the super dimensions. Whereas when we came to the BBQ restaurant, which is a restaurant, we are talking about the super dimensions are food, quality of food, the service, all that. So based on the business, based on the industry, we can set the dimensions. That
Yes.
along by in discussion with the client, we will have to set the right dimensions for them, and the
That's what
dimensions
we
and
call it as,
sub-dimensions.
yeah, we call that as critical success factors.
Absolutely, absolutely. For that industry, for that business. That is the
Yeah,
task actually. The rest this algorithm can do. And it should be a measurable number, right? It should get get the data for it to analyze. Once that is done, we will get these sort of results. Akash, uh,
Yes.
you can maybe just explain how this sentiment analytics work in the sense you have shown the dashboard. This is now clear.
Mm-hmm.
You can just tell
Mm-hmm.
the fundamentals of how the sentiment is extracted. Yeah. You can just explain. You will not show anything.
Hmm. So basically, we are first of all we are using multiple machine learning algorithm like neural network and classifiers. So and the robot model as well. So now we have two things here. One is aspect matching, and the other is sentiment analysis. In aspect matching, so we so let's say So food, service, wait time, drink and dessert, these are aspect for us. So whenever a conversation happens, we first we find the aspects. So we have in the conversation we have food word. So it shows that we have one aspect, that is food. Now, in sentiment analysis, we take some words regarding that food. So, what can what all words can what all those words can be. For food, we can say the taste can be one word, hot and cold one can be one word, and then buffet, then non-veg, then veg. These all words are surrounded for food. These are sentiments about aspect which is food. So these two parts works, and then we finally use classifiers. One classifier work for separating the food, and then one classifier works for the sentiment about the food. This is how we capture those words. And then second aspect will be service. Now, for service, what will be the sentiments? The the staff will be one sentiment for the service. The let's say how the staff is talking, that will be one sentiment for the service. The booking time, the atmosphere will come into the ambience aspect. So how we have classified this thing in two parts.
Okay. So what I was trying to understand, see, they are really able to identify or extract certain sentiment. We may not be able to believe initially, but see, by identifying the aspects and the sub aspects and
Okay.
getting to know those words which reflect that sentiment, and the machine learning algorithm does the rest of the work, right? So it is something which is measurable, and they are measuring it, and they are able to deliver it in a user friendly format. That's the beauty of this solution. What I have seen is, of course, it can be simplified further, but it's very easy for somebody, a business owner, to understand, right? So are we through, Agash? That's it mostly?
Yes, that is from the application UI perspective.
Yeah, yeah. Fine, fine. Good, good. Thank you, Agash. I think Amar is there,
So
Vinny
Jimmy,
is there, another question is there. All are veterans from telecom. Anything you can ask, Agash is here. I am there.
Jimmy, so this sentiment analysis, once it's done, right? Uh, what is the predictability of the actual success rate?
So that depends on the machine
Can you
learning
stop
algorithm
sharing?
accuracy.
I can't see myself
Yes,
on the screen.
yes.
Yeah, your face is better.
No, you're also
So
looking very handsome.
yes.
See, Amar, a quick answer from my side. There is something called
Mm,
as the accuracy of the algorithm. So here, as
Yes.
per their test, they are claiming it is 95% accurate. Whereas somebody else who puts together this sort of a tool, they might end up at 60, 70%. Why FAI is at 95% accuracy? Because they have been in this AI machine learning based technology for the last 4 or 5 years in fintech. So they have really refined this technology for themselves. Whereas a set of people try to create a sentiment analysis together, they can definitely create it. But the kind of configuration they do and the output they will get maybe at 70% accuracy. Whereas this tool has got 95% accuracy. Am I right, Akash?
Yes. And one more point here. So in between all these algorithms, we are also using neural network, and neural network has a ability to learn itself from the conversation. So more the text fed into this algorithm, more the accuracy will be higher.
So accuracy is the key word. If you have to explain to somebody how good this product is there any other metric or only the accuracy?
So the about the question from the Amar, that accuracy can answer. So how the validation is done. So let's say you have 100 conversation, you can train the algorithm with 95 conversation, and then put that 5 conversation as for the test or validation. Now you will see that 95% let's say sentiments are getting 95% accuracy.
no, my question was slightly different. I was more interested about the predictability of the outcome, right? The tool is deemed to be successful only when we say that, okay, the success response as per this is say 95%, and say actual closure is also, if not 95, at least 85 or 80%, so that we can say in the range of 80%, the success ratio is there. So I'm
Yes.
actually looking at the correlation between the actual outcome and the tool, whatever it is showing.
That is what accuracy shows. So the what have been predicted by this application, that is
Mm.
95% accurate, or maybe you can say 85% accurate. So maybe at the initial stage when we have less conversation or less text, it will show that
I
accuracy is
understood that part.
80%. So, yes, that 80%
See,
it
because
is
if today
confirmed.
one agent is doing on an average about 100 calls, right? Nothing
Yes,
less than that 100 calls they'll make. So
yes,
any call center would do minimum 150 calls or maybe 200 calls. In that actual connects would be about 50 to 60 or sometimes a little more than that. Conversations would be anywhere between 35, 40. So even if they have 10 agents, in a day you will get about 400, 500, maybe 1,000 conversations to start with. So within 2 days, you will get enough sample size to get your machine learning to be accurate in that sense,
yes,
Absolutely
right?
spot
yes.
on, I think.
Okay.
Kurian,
How is the pricing model on this?
yet to be decided. Yet to be decided. We are at the starting stage. See, this pricing and all, we'll have to discuss with the client. We'll have to understand how much files we'll have to process. But see, we will start with a POC. We will charge the least pricing, we will get a POC done, and we will validate and show it to them, demonstrate it to them, what this can do. Maybe a couple of months. Then we can get into the right pricing model, right? Because these are technology products, it works like that. You know it better, Raman. Yeah. So I think it's done because I have sent the presentation. These guys understand these things very well,
Okay,
right?
okay.
I just wanted to show it to them that there is some sentiment it can extract.
Yes,
Because when I got to know this, I never realized it will come to this level. Of course, more can be done. But at least based on their system, based on their framework, it does that job. And that is quite interesting. It's a starting step for us, right? To get into this AI space, ML space. More than that, Amo, this is the marketing tech space where we can really make an impact, right? Marketing analytics or mark tech, right? So because of that background or context, I thought let us get to understand this. Yeah. So